Welcome to the 61st episode of Retrotopia. My name is Brian, and today we're going all Christmassy. So put out the milk and cookies, go tuck yourselves in, and start those sugar plum dreams. Because today we're talking about the Nintendo Switch game, Legend of Santa. But before we get into all that talk and everything, I got some social medias to give you. So let's get it done. If you want to find our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, or Storm Beagle's Instagram, you can go to linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. Or Storm Beagle with a zero instead of an O, because some asshole stole his name. Also, we have a Patreon where you can join for free, and on that Patreon, which you join for free, you can get 2 more shows. Quick Play, which is our single host review of a game that we couldn't make a full episode out of, or somebody from the hero tier selected, as is one of their perks. And Retro Bites, where the 3 of us get together and just chat about games, gaming, and culture around it. You can get it on the 15th, half a month before it goes on the free feed. Also, there is a bonus topic on the Patreon. You can also suggest topics for polls, including the one we have coming up soon, which is the poll for the 2025 first poll game of the year. We don't have a special name for that one. And you can vote on said polls, as well as comment on the games we're going to talk about, like today's game, and write into the host on the 9-bit banter box, because it's culturally elegant. Our first letter today is from Randy Barrage from the Read Watch Play podcast. He says, Merry Christmas to the Retrotopia gang. It has been a joy listening to you all this year, and I can't wait to continue being a fan next year. Back at you, buddy. Brian, I am currently in the midst of playing Miles Morales as it's set in the Christmas time, so my question for you is, what favorite game of yours would you love to have some DLC set around the holiday seasons? Best wishes to you and your family. Great starting letter. Best wishes to you and your family, and to everybody's family as well. Miles Morales is a fantastic game. Love it. I actually liked it more than I liked Spider-Man, to be honest. Spider-Man I tapped out on. Miles Morales I got hooked on and completed. I also like Miles Morales, the character, better, simply because I think Peter Parker's been overdone in my entire life. It's always been Peter Parker this and Peter Parker that, and I'm just kind of tired of him. Miles Morales was a breath of fresh air. As for your question, the game I would pick, very obvious, Grand Theft Auto 5. You would go around in a sleigh, hunting down people on Santa's naughty list with, an RPG and a machine gun. You go around the city of Los Santos, just screwing around with people. You can go down chimneys, set trees on fires, the regular Grand Theft Auto mayhem. I think that would be the perfect game to have the DLC for this. Thank you for writing in, Randy. And moving on to a Shark Bite. He says, do you think Santa has to pay insurance for his sleigh? Also a follow-up question. What would you buy if money was no object that isn't the normal stuff like a car, a house, or a console? Well, Shark Bite, I'm going to lean back in the chair for this one. For your first question, yes, he would have to get insurance because Canada has claimed Santa is a citizen of Canada, and here insurance is mandatory for his vehicles. However, his reindeer, it's not mandatory, so he'd have to pay a huge premium to, insure his reindeer in case of accidents. So, on Donner on Blitzen, but sadly Rudolph has been shot because they couldn't afford the vet bill. Second, what would I buy? I know this one. Actually, when I read this question, it popped right into my head. I would go out and seek the entire collection in mint condition of Nintendo Power, from issue 1 to the final issue, and I would read them all. That'd be the longest poop ever, but it would be worth it. On top of that, I know this one's kind of skirting your don't do's, but I'd also get a copy of every cartridge-based game for the Nintendo, from the NES through the N64. Inbox, just so I could set them all up, alphabetical, and just stare at them. That would be it. I would just stare at these boxes because it would just look so beautiful. Other than that, nothing big. Just buy a superconductor laser cannon and a mountain volcano. Become a supervillain who threatens the world governments would be my final purchase. Of course, this is going to create unity amongst everybody, as I'd be the target of their hatred, but too bad. I'm just going to destroy them all with my superconductor laser cannon. Thanks for writing in, Sharkbite. Next question comes from Guy Who Does Things. And he says, since Christmas is overhyped and not as important as Halloween, please tell us, oh Ginger Spirit, what is the best horror game? Well, my friend, Guy Who Does Things, I'll do you one better. I'm going to give you a Christmas game that is a horror game, and it is called Parasite Eve, and it's by Square. I think it was Squaresoft still at the time. PS1 game, role-playing game. There's a Parasite Eve and a Parasite Eve 2. Parasite Eve plays like the classic turn-based role-playing game, where Parasite Eve 2 plays more like a Resident Evil game. So if you want to check out a Christmassy game that's also horror, check out Parasite Eve. Moving on to Unbuckled Kate from the Unbuckled Comics, and I know the boys have been waiting for this answer since they read the question. It's a doozy, but I got an answer. He says, Merry Christmas to all Retrotopians. Brian, you beautiful bastard, I want you to play Santa for your fellow co-hosts, but you won't be gifting them just anything. You'll be gifting them the gaming skill they need the most. Remember, it is the season of kind spirits, so do try and be polite. When you're done there, turn around and celebrate by gifting yourself the gaming skill you need the most. Merry Christmas and happy giving. Well, Unbuckled, very tough question. I don't know the boys' deficiencies in gaming too much, but I answered anyways. So, let's start with Alan, because A becomes 4S, and I like alphabetical things. So Alan, he needs to be able to finish his games quicker. He has only completed around 60-ish games this year. He's showing a very lack of commitment to the hobby. Therefore, I'm going to gift him the skill of foresight. He'll be able to finish these games before he actually finishes a game to bolster his low numbers of completions. The curse of this, he's going to know the ending of the game before he starts it. So with every gift comes a curse. Then Sam, alphabetically after Alan, he is going to get the ability to be able to finish games. Having tapped out on the super easy Lion King, Sam shows he isn't willing to face the villain in order to save the day. Therefore, I'm gifting the skill of getting good. He'll be able to play games like a normal person who practices them so he can finish what he starts. And to do this, he's going to play the Lion King until he can beat it on one life. Once again, you get a gift, but you also get a curse. Now for myself. I don't need anything. I am a perfection of gaming, and it's known on both sides of the couch. But, in the spirit of fairness, I gift myself the ability of lying about finishing games. With this, I'm going to be able to just say I finished a game, and you're all going to believe me. Did you hear I beat Elden Ring in 2 hours? I did. Finally, as a bonus, because Unbuckled, he asked the question, I couldn't leave you out of this. Let's see. What do we gift Unbuckled? He needs to play more comic book games as a comic book podcast host, and this will allow him to understand comics and comic characters. His knowledge of the Marvel and DC and everything is lacking because he sticks to these boring books and not the games. Therefore, I gift him the ability of canon. He'll be able to will any comic book video game into the canon of said character, and what he says about that character will become law. The curse of this? He could ruin comic books by putting the wrong thing into canon, so use your powers wisely, fellas, especially you, Unbuckled. I like those comics. Thanks for the question. Moving on to Sergeant Ombre. He says, howdy doody, what is your favorite Christmas memory? Well, I did actually have an immediate one come to my mind when you asked this question. I'm going to try to keep the story short, but there is some setup that has to be done, so let's just pretend and take ourselves back to the magical era of the 1990s. So as per normal, I wake up early in the morning. I'm talking like 12:01 early in the morning. That's how Christmas rolled for me back in those days. I end up going to the couch. I dig through my stockings. The only thing I'm allowed to touch, until the whole family is together. I get bored, I sit there, I don't go back to bed. For some odd reason, I thought if I stayed up all night, I would make time go faster, which is just kind of the opposite of how it worked. But morning came and my mom woke up before everybody else, as she always did. My brother and my dad, they like to sleep in, and they'd sleep it until the afternoon if I let them. So out comes the heels, and I start banging around the floor to make sure everybody's up. We have our traditional Christmas breakfast, the dogs are fed, and everybody sits down to unwrap their presents, and we do so. We just tear through that wrapping paper, throwing it all over the place. I get the normal things, the Vanilla Ice cassette, the TMNT toys, clothing, and all that good stuff. Nothing really overly memorable about that year. Just the stuff I always wanted. We finish unwrapping, and it's time to clean up. And as tradition, me and my brother had to clean up everything because, we're the young ones, and parents like to make their kids do free labor. So we started cleaning up everything, and I found this tag, and it was attached to a ribbon I pulled, and that ribbon was attached to something heavy. So I followed the ribbon, and there was a box underneath the chair of our 3-piece living room set. So I pulled the box out. Now I'm going to tell you right now, in the 90s, without the internet, without cell phones, without all these fancy gadgets, every kid knew the dimension of every video game box out there. Period. So we immediately knew what was underneath the wrapping paper on this present, and it was addressed to both me and my brother. So in our excitement, we ripped it open, and there it was. A brand new, shiny Super Nintendo Entertainment Console with Super Mario World. Things from here go blank from excitement. Don't remember what happened next. We probably tackled my mom to the ground. And as is tradition, we, barely acknowledged my dad for some reason, even though he was probably the one who instrumented this entire thing. He tried to repeat this thing a few years later with the PlayStation by hiding it behind the couch, but unfortunately I was older and wiser, and I found it before he was able to do it, so I had to pretend to be surprised. Kind of sucked, but at the same time I got a PlayStation, so yay, my dad is awesome. Other than that, yeah, that was probably one of my best Christmas memories. My brother and I were talking about it recently, not to mention all the amount of times that I would wake him up early just to get him to open his presents so I could play with them. That was part of my Christmas joy, was making sure that his stuff was, usable by me. He's going to punch me in the arm for saying that, but you know what? No risk, no reward. All right, thanks, Sergeant Ombre. You brought back some good memories. And we're going to finish off with Big Kid 782. Actually, we're not, because right before I recorded this, we got another comment. So Big Kid 782 will be the second last comment. All right, so knowing you'll be on the naughty list this year again, what is the one gift you want to get yourself that since Santa isn't coming by? Funny you should say that. I do like being naughty. My wife likes when I'm naughty too. But every year, me and her go out and buy ourselves one outrageously expensive gift for ourselves. So we do have a limit, and we have to try to match each other's, limit. So it's not like I get $1,000 and she gets $50. It's this year it was she found what she wanted, so I got to get myself a gift of equal or less value, which I did. So she got a Ninja oven. What is it called? Has an air fryer, an air roaster, an oven, a convection oven, toaster. A whole bunch of different options, a broiler and all that kind of stuff, and it's in this kind of mini oven, and it's been fantastic because it just cooks stuff so fast and it makes it so good. And yeah, that was her gift to herself, so I went out, I had to get something myself. I went out and got an XP Pen digital tablet for my computer that has a screen on it. So it acts as a third screen, but at the same time, as I'm learning my Photoshop classes and stuff like that, I can have a pen and I can draw on it. So it's a fun little thing to have on my PC there, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's bigger than I thought it was going to be, but I still do like it. All right, one final question, snuck in at the wire. Didn't write it in my notes, but I do have it in my book, so here it is. It is from Fallen Snow Kiku, and she says, "Why is Santa's sack so big? Because he only comes once a year." I have no answer to that, but it was perfect. Thank you very much, everybody, for writing in your questions and comments. So now we're going to move on to what I have been up to. And let's just say one of my biggest problems is my mic has been crackling a lot. So I had to do a little bit of fault finding to figure out why my mic was crackling, because it is a very expensive mic and I do take really good care of it. So I'm trying to make sure everything except for the mic is broken before I conclude the mic is. And this is a second recording of this intro. So if there's crackling, that means the mic is broken at this point, because I have changed the cable, I have changed the Focusrite to my Go XLR and back again. The only thing I can think of is that it might be the software I was using to try and clean up some of the mic background noise. The NVIDIA broadcast might have been overcorrecting. I'll find out when I stop this and start listening to it again. Other than that, I have also been up to Christmas break. During that, I finally finished Xenogears, which is great because I have not finished that game since 1999 when it first came out. I'm starting Radiata Stories. I'm about an hour into that already, and so far it's such a charming game. God, I forgot how good that game is. I'm doing that for a quick play, oddly enough. This one was requested by one of our newer Patreon members. And as is tradition, we will comply because that's how we roll. And I have a copy of Ratty Out of Stories, and I wanted to play it again. So bingo bango, he just made my life a little bit easier. Been watching Secret Levels on Amazon Prime, way better than I thought it was. Did the Pac-Man one, which wow, really good. Oh my god, they're just short little 15-minute stories. And the Pac-Man one was done so well, and I think it actually kind of blends into the new Pac-Man Metroidvania that's coming out. So, other than that, there's also a Mega Man one I watched last night. Also was quite excellent, but not as good as the Pac-Man one. Also, I'm getting ready for Christmas traveling to my dad's house. He got a new puppy, so as tradition, we have to go and see the puppy. Because, yay, puppy. Other than that, rest and relax for a few weeks. Get ready for Christmas. Get ready for the new semester, and then that's about my life to date. So that's me. That's me in a nutshell. And excuse me. On that note, I think it's time I head off to bed because Santa Allen should be stopping by and to give us the gift of the gentleman's interlude.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Santa here, and oh, look, poor old Brian is fast asleep, tuckered out from all of the hard work he's put in this year, no doubt. Well, since you're here, let me tell you as our little secret that those boys from Retrotopia are all on my nice list this year, as are all of you. Well, all but one of you. And as such, I have a wonderful little surprise in my sack for you all. So while one of you, and you know who you are, will be receiving a stocking full of Animaniac and Ren and Stimpy games, the rest of you have earned a delightful platforming romp featuring yours truly. The Legend of Santa was released on the 9th of April 2022 and was developed and published by Bringle Family Entertainment for PlayStation 5, Switch and PC. A faithful recreation of one of my many adventures, it tells the tale of the time that my beloved workshop was usurped by a particularly naughty troll from the South Pole, thus landing Christmas itself in dire peril. Worry not, boys and girls, because obviously Santa won the day, as usual, and it is that victory that forms the basis of this delightful platformer. Presented in a beautiful retro style, this game harkens back to many of your childhoods, and perhaps borrows more than a little inspiration from a certain plumber. Certainly the developers have been very generous with my jumping abilities, and for that I thank them. Of course, it's not just the ability to jump that will have you slaying your way to victory. Santa is bringing his full arsenal to bear, whether I'm launching candy canes or flinging coal at those naughty scamps. There are plenty of presents to open along the way. 'Tis the season of joy and play, everyone, and I hope that when you find this little treat in your stocking, you have as much fun playing it as I did living it. So join me on this great adventure. Run, jump, and platform to your heart's content. And to all of you loyal Retrotopia listeners out there, don't forget to leave cookies and a drop of whiskey out, and have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh man, I had the most wonderful dream. Oh, Alan showed up and tucked me in tight, and so magical. Anyways, honestly, thanks again, Alan. It's been a great year since you started doing the Gentleman Interlude with us, to the point where you just became the third host, and we've never looked back. It's been great. It's been awesome. We've worked around some tough schedules. We have some tough schedules to work around again this coming year. We'll make it work. And if not, I don't know. I just can't live with myself, I guess. Anyways, that went a little bit dark, but so we have some comments before we get into the game chat. So first one is Sharkbite. He says, I am pretty sure I had this game on Linux back in the day. I never completed it though. Thought it was a good clone. He is right, because it is a clone of Super Mario Bros. 3 using some of the assets, I believe. But fantastic game, fantastic comment. Unlike Unbuckled Cape, who just simply says, bah humbug. Unbuckled, pull that Christmas spirit in deep inside you. Slide that Christmas spirit in right up in you. Buddy, I need happiness. And we're going to finish off with Sergeant Ombre, who says, the music for this game is really good. The sound effects could be turned down a little to focus on the epic music. Maybe that's just me, though. It looks good, too. The animations are pretty on point. I didn't play the game, so I can't say how well it handled, but the player on the video I watched made it look pretty... But the player in the video I watched made it look pretty crisp controls. Sorry, that confused me for half a second. Just from watching a playthrough 910 holiday-themed game. Thank you, Sergeant Ombre, and everybody for writing in. As always, let's get into the show, and let's start a little music here. And we are going to be talking about The Legend of Santa, developed by Plow Games, published by Bringle Family Entertainment LLC, released on the 9th of December 2021 on itch.io and in 2024 on all other platforms. It is available on PC, Linux, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. All right, welcome back to another episode of Retrotopia, and I'm here again with Sam and Alan, and we're talking The Legend of Santa, as you already figured out from my beautifully redone intro, which I did twice, for you, the listener, not for me. Well, kind of for me, because I didn't like how it sounded. But, fellas, Alan, Sam, how are you?
Before we go any further, can I get another one of those roll of the R Retrotopias?
Retrotopia.
Oh, that's the good stuff. Well,
yeah, it's the old Canadian thing back when Tim Hortons had to roll up the rim. It'd be roll up the rim to win, because we always had to roll that R, otherwise you won nothing.
Roll up the rim to win.
Yeah, it was like you had your coffee cup, and you would roll up the rim, and you would get like free coffees and donuts and $10,000.
Is that what that means? Because that's from this is way off topic already, but that's that Shorzy, like that's your mom. Your mom put me in her phone as roll up the rim to win.
Yeah, that's where it's from, Tim Hortons.
Oh, that's great.
It was a contest, and it's an annual contest, but now they do it on an app on your phone. But
that's awesome. You know what? I laughed at that anyways without knowing what it meant.
There you go.
Well, see, now Shorzy's will be better for you.
We're entertaining and informative.
Yes, infotainment.
Yes, and we are informative. It's Christmas, boys. It's Christmas.
It is.
And we have picked this game, this nice little indie game to talk about for this Christmas. I guess we'll call it the inaugural Christmas episode, because we didn't do one last year because we were still getting our feet wet. God, what do you guys got planned for Christmas? Let's talk a little bit about us.
Oh, yeah, because this is The Legend of Santa. We might as well talk about Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where do you land, guys? Because I fucking love Christmas. I love this time of year.
Yeah, I'm indifferent, honestly.
I'm all right.
It's more for my kid than it is for me. I don't partake in the decorating and all that kind of stuff. I don't bake cookies. I don't put out cookies for Santa. Santa's usually drunk by, I don't know, about 9 p.m. and passes out. Then I wake up in the morning and get the gifts downstairs.
I love it. Well, I do
Yeah.
all of that, and Santa still gets drunk by 9 p.m. So. Santa's getting drunk now, so fuck it.
Yeah, there we
Attaboy,
go.
Santa.
Um,
Any, Sam, what do you do for Christmas?
I don't know. Christmas lately, since I've had kids of my own, Christmas just stresses me the fuck out. I don't. Yeah, it's fine though. It is enjoyable. It's just now that I've hit a threshold where all of my children are to the age where like getting a bundle of toys and things like doesn't really cut it anymore. So I've been kind of scratching my head over what to do, and I'm still not done Christmas shopping, and I've only have
There's only a week left.
there's less than a week left. Don't stress
That's
me
true,
out
yeah.
anymore.
Sam, I tell you what, if you need a fucking Turbo Man doll, you're fucked.
I do need a Turbo Man doll.
Oh, you need that Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
That movie pisses me off so much, but I love it.
Christmas-
I fucking love that
just-
film.
Christmas was better when the Nintendo 64 was a new thing.
Super Nintendo. We're going to
Well,
go further back.
Or that, yeah. But for me,
Yeah,
it
you know
was-
what?
yeah.
I respect both of those takes. Like, impeccable.
Man, it
Yeah,
was
actually,
like,
you guys didn't hear this, but on the intro, I talked about my time when I got my Super Nintendo.
ooh,
Oh,
that
ooh,
is nice. That is
nice.
a good one. Yeah, Nintendo
Yeah.
64 is a big Christmas like memory for me, and also you'd get like in the my family does stockings too, so like you have like small gifts in your stockings and the big ones under the tree, and I remember usually it was like a copy of Game Informer, RIP, and then like a subscription for the year, and then your games were under the tree.
Nice. I remember getting my Sega fucking Saturn.
And you gave
a
it
good-
up, didn't you?
Hey,
And you gave it up. You didn't keep it. You gave it away.
I
Now you
had
have nothing but regret inside of you, and you just want to throttle the first Sega fan you see. Which happens to be yourself, so you're going to
you
throttle yourself.
Sega fans are my people. And I had no hand in getting rid of that Sega Saturn, and I miss it. To this day, it's probably the one console missing from the collection, and maybe in 2025 I'll right that wrong.
Well,
Just
I hope you do.
Fuck you and fuck everyone else who thinks the Sega Saturn isn't brilliant.
I've never actually played it enough to come to a conclusion, but I did play in the store when they had the demo setups, the Nights, or Into Nights,
yeah.
whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that, so I can see the value of it. And there's a couple of games on there that have piqued my interest.
Yeah, there
Like
you go.
Dragon Force.
So your
Unfortunately,
Saturn-
Dragon Force costs so much money, I'll never be able
Yeah.
to buy it.
That's the
That's
thing
true.
with the Saturn is that there's great stuff on there, but it's
it ain't
fairly
cheap.
fairly unattainable.
That's
Yeah,
all,
and that just sucks.
I'll just get the Saturn to look at.
Just
That
get
would
the
do.
console.
Yeah,
itself.
that's what you gotta do. There's a shop not far from me, a couple hours down the road, close to my dad's house, and they have stacks of Sega Saturns, and they have all the friggin' games you can imagine, like Dragon Force is there, Into Nights, Shining Force 3, and all those games are behind the glass case, and God, I priced it out. I need to win 2 lotteries just to be able to afford what I wanted on that system.
Yeah. Sad
I
truth.
I think I have Dragon Force, or not Dragon Force, Shining Force. It's different. It's not Shining Force 3. It's Shining Force CD. I have that on the Genesis Mini too. They should make a Saturn Mini and load it with some of those games. A Saturn Mini.
Yeah,
I
they
would-
really
I would
should.
fuck with. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
actually think a lot of people would buy a Saturn Mini.
I sure would.
But, I at least asked Santa Claus for it. Should we get into the game?
Let's do it.
All right. So, plot of this game is very simple. You got the South Pole troll who comes up to the North Pole and takes over Santa's workshop and kidnaps his wife for World 1. Very simplistic story, but what did you guys actually pay attention to the story at all?
Not at all. I mean, it's
Not at all.
cute little graphics and stuff, but like I just wanted the platforming and the gameplay.
Yeah,
That makes sense. So let's just go. I'll sum it up real quick here. World 2, after Santa saves Mrs. Claus, he has a second mission where he has to save the reindeer. So basically, get the whole kit and caboodle saved so that he can suppose perform Christmas duties. Yeah. So what about those graphics? The Super Mario Brothers 3 looking graphics.
Super
Do you
Mario
think this
World
was a
looking.
good choice? Kind of a mix of the both.
Yeah.
See,
I
that's
loved
where
it.
I was confused. Like, I was like, is this 8-bit? Is this 16-bit? It's kind of somewhere in between the two.
It's 12.
It's 12-bit.
12 bits, yeah.
It's 12-bit.
We've got the 9-bit banter box. We've got 12 bits of Santa.
We're just
all
making
these-
up bits all over the place.
Just all kinds of numbers of bits that don't make sense.
Just
Yeah.
chucking out our bits.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. No. Well, we all know how the 9-bit banter box came about because I made a fucking mistake and somebody jumped on it, and now it's
Now it's
our
canon.
tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the graphics.
That's
in
exactly the
this
same reason I'm here. My mum made a mistake, and look at me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And now everybody gets to listen to you on a podcast, and we are all thankful for it. Graphically, going back to the game, world map looks almost exactly like Super Mario Brothers 3. Actually, yeah, Super Mario Brothers 3 graphically, but Super Mario World design
Yeah.
to me. That's
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
see the kind of the mix of the both.
I mean,
and the worst part
it's-
about this... Yeah, sorry. I was going to quickly say the worst part about this game is I can't find a wiki on it, so I can't really
No.
find any background
Well-
information.
No, it's because it's brand new.
It's not, though. It's been out since 2019. It was the earliest date I can find.
Really?
Yeah.
2019.
Well, that
it
was
was
a
released...
I was
Go
gonna say that
ahead,
was a
Alan.
bitch. That was a bitch for when I was trying to write the Gentleman's Interlude because I was
Yeah,
just
what
like,
the hell?
fuck, like, where is all the information on this game? And
Yeah, it's like small developers made a game on itch.io where you kind of can release a whole bunch of stuff for money or for free, and
Yeah.
then it got ported over to the consoles like within the last year or so, and yeah, it's just a goddamn charming game.
it fucking is. Like, it's talking about the graphics. It is so nice to look at. Like, it really does capture that nostalgic feel of those old. And let's just address the elephant in the room because this is Mario
Oh yeah,
Basically, yeah. Oh, yeah.
100%.
through and through. Like almost shamelessly so. If it weren't for the fact that it's just like you say, so fucking charming with it that I can forgive it.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, well it doesn't. It's unique enough that it's its own game, but yeah, no, you can really tell that it is Super Mario Brothers.
I got real heavy, like Grand Poo World or like Kaizo Mario vibes from this. Like not in the difficulty, but in the basically you take that. I don't know if you could call it an engine, but like basically you take that game style, almost 100% carbon copy it, and then make it like kind of like Mario Maker type stuff, but with Santa skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's engines that are literally designed to make these pixelated type of games, and all you have to do is import the pixels that you can build off of the Mario games. Like I've seen people do it before, where they'll take Mega Man and they'll just recolor it so that it looks like a character, because a Mega Man is pretty good for people to learn how to do pixel art.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, you can do a lot with that sprite.
What was
Yeah, and this just looks like it was Mario turned into Santa.
Okay.
And why the fuck not?
Wait, release date. So that's why this is getting such heavy promotion and stuff right now. Is I've followed the developers of the game on Instagram, and they've interacted with me a little bit because I actually posted a photo of my Switch. It was on Thanksgiving that I was kind of starting to play this game a little bit. So it was released on the Switch on October 28th. So relatively recent, but so going years back, this was a .io game, huh?
Yeah, and to kind of describe it, it's now in the mainstream, whereas .io is kind of still niche as far as, people who actually get their games from it. Honestly, I would never have known about this game if it never came to the Switch.
Right,
Yeah, that's true.
Getting
And
on the Switch
honestly-
and on Steam and everything really, boosted this.
Yeah. And honestly, like, when we had our little meeting to discuss the games that were coming up, and this came up.
The one that you don't remember.
Well, I got the majority of the details after the fact. I was just like, Legend of Santa. I mean, that's got to be a fucking joke, right? Because I thought you were just making shit up, and it was just like, I looked at it, I was just like, there is no fucking way this game's going to be good, surely. And well, when I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong, because this, like, I started playing it. I was just like, I don't know. This looks kind of shameless, but like, this is a very, very competent platformer. Like,
yeah, they did not fuck up much on this game. There's a couple of things I do have issues with, but overall, no, this is a great game.
There's one part in a level that I actually like that I could not get past, and I think it might be like a little broken.
Okay.
I will reserve for later.
Sure.
Yeah, all right. Talking about the graphics, the Christmassy theme in this thing is really good. I enjoy that instead of lava, they have hot chocolate. And I'm wondering if those are like just hot marshmallows coming out. But yeah, it's hot chocolate is your lava. The trees are all pine trees. What other things do they have? The ice, obviously, is a very big theme in this. The water levels exist. And Santa himself has some quirks, such as fucking losing his shirt when he, instead of going small like Mario does, when you get knocked, like lose the mushroom power, you lose your shirt as opposed to shrink.
Yeah, you lose your shirt, and so you gain the mushroom power. He's naked.
But
a little bit like Ghosts and Goblins. Why the fuck can I?
Oh yeah, Ghosts and Goblins.
That is because he ends up.
He
ends up in those
pants.
heart boxer shorts.
That's it. In his undies.
Undies. Do you call them boxer pants or like what?
Boxer pants.
I mean, we just. Yeah, they're boxers, but I just had to refer to everything as pants, except what you would call pants.
Fucking boxer pants, come on.
Because those are trousers.
Those are trousers. Or bottoms, if you like.
My silly willy pocket holders.
I would call them bottoms, but I'm not a toddler.
I'll have you know, I'm wearing pajama bottoms right now.
Well, those are bottoms. Yeah, I guess pajamas. All right. Well, pajama trousers.
Yeah.
And the reason we're going off topic so often
is too much fun.
Because there's not a lot to talk about in this game, so we will probably sidetrack ourselves quite a bit just to extend this episode.
This is what you get for Christmas. Also, I love the cookie coins.
Oh my god,
the cookie coins.
The cookie coins.
That was
and
such
the question boxes being
idea.
presents. Yeah.
I kind of wish they would put in like a glass full of milk or something like that to get your power back.
They do.
Where?
Yeah. No, there were bottles of milk that you could find around that would give you temporary invincibility.
Was there?
I never found one.
Yes, honestly, like there were some secret walls you could go through. I'm thinking
walls.
like fucking walls. But like I only found like one or two of them. But yeah, there's a bottle of milk and it gives you invincibility. So they fucking thought of you. They saw you coming, mate. Like they thought of that.
Yeah, they thought of it, but they didn't make it accessible. They should have at least given one bottle of milk at the beginning so I could try it out.
I think there are a fair number of secrets because I'll get posts to my Instagram feed that are like, have you found all the secrets in Legend of Santa? And then there's like places to jump, and I look at it like, oh, fuck off. Of course I didn't find that. Because they hide them very well. It's like places you wouldn't think to jump. There's a lot of secrets hidden in here.
It makes me want to play the game again.
Well, it's not very long, so you really could just like dive back in. I mean, that's the fun of it. We don't really like there's not enough Christmas games, right? And
that is very true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a sweet little game that it's just like, I think, without getting too far ahead of myself, it's just like, I could see myself playing this again, at Christmas, because it's just, really does a good job. Like you
Well,
say, like
I spent $6 on this game. I'm going to play it again to get my money's worth.
well, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it
Yeah,
was definitely worth it.
And I had Nintendo coins in my account, so it was even less.
Ah,
Well, that's the biggest positive of this game, I think, is that it is such a good game for such a good value that it's worth picking up, even if you're unsure about it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking it's perfect for like if you're looking for something to play on Christmas Day and you don't want to like sit and watch a cutscene or download this huge game or whatever, you know, most games are not ready right away anymore. You got to sit and wait for them to load and all that bullshit or an update.
Yeah.
Just if you get a gift card for your PlayStation or Steam or Nintendo, consider just putting a couple bucks of it towards Legend of Santa and just have a good time with it on Christmas Day, because it is such a fun little. It's not going to take you long, but there is some challenge to it. I mean, I did game over a couple times, especially in World 3. Yeah, it's like the perfect length and the perfect, you know, just great aesthetic and everything for Christmas Day.
I only went to World 2.
Sam's
Perfect
forgotten
length.
that that's the bit that happens at the end of the episode.
What, reviewing it or suggesting
Yeah.
everyone play
it's
it?
just like, thanks,
No,
Sam, for summing up your thoughts.
Well,
Thanks
no,
everyone for listening.
No, I have more. No, I have more thoughts. I have more in-depth thoughts, but just in general, it's awesome.
No, I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Some of the items are really good. Like, you have the coat, which acts as your mushroom, and you have 2 hearts on the screen, so if you have 1 heart, you have no coat. You get the coat to kind of get that heart back. You have the hat, which took me a while because I didn't notice it was giving me a free life. But yeah, the hat is a free life, and they're readily available everywhere, unlike the bottle of milk.
Yeah.
Then you have 2. Yeah, then you have 2 weapons. You have the stocking, which is full of coal, which
Yeah.
acts like the fireball would in Super Mario Brothers 3, and then the candy cane, which acts like the Hammer Brothers.
Yeah, I loved both of
Oh,
those
shit.
power-ups.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It
didn't
bothered
think
me
of it
for
like that.
longest time because I was like, this feels familiar, but I can't place it. And finally, it just like dawned on me. It's like the motherfucking Hammer Bros.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, you just took that splinter out my brain. Thank you, Brian. That was
no
annoying
problem.
me. But
I
Yeah,
could have
I
used
mean-
one more item, I think. I'll be the
What type of item
poo-pooer.
would you use?
I'll be the poo-pooer, like,
All right,
sometimes, because
Sam,
there are some
then-
criticisms. It's not a perfect game. There's some criticisms. I wish there would have been. You know, if we're gonna not necessarily straight copy Mario, but basically this is an homage to Mario, so we won't say that it's
Yeah.
copied. We'll just say this is an homage. But like, if you've got the Hammer Brothers and you've got the fireball, I think there should have been like some sort of a flying, like whether it's a cape or the cape would have been too close. But like, I don't know, a Yoshi, like a reindeer that you could ride on or something. Like, I mean, there
Oh.
But the reindeers were
possibilities
kidnapped.
are. Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Well,
but that's a good.
but then
that's
you
a good
save
idea
them
for a
and-
sequel.
yeah, like all this stuff. Like, I hope they listen to this. Are you listening?
Mm.
I hope you make a sequel and take all of our suggestions, because there's so much cool stuff here that you can do, and you can incorporate other holidays. And you can make all kinds of worlds that are holiday themed.
I'll tell you what, you take our suggestions and then take our money, because I would
Yeah.
buy that sequel.
Yeah, for sure.
So you would have Santa fly. That's not an unreasonable take.
Yeah, I'd do like some sort of item to make him fly, whether it's
Yeah.
I don't know what, but something cool. I don't know. It's kind
trying
of
to
hard
think.
it's hard to think because I'm not the creative one. I just know what I want to. I just know the mechanic that I want out of a game. I'd be like, I don't know, make it a cape. It's like, well, you can't because make it a foxtail. I don't know, or like, or a raccoon tail. Tanuki Santa.
Well, there's dogs. You could jump on the dogs and take their tails. You know, a little murder never hurt Santa.
not the dogs though.
Kind of watching the video of the playthrough again as we do this, and it reminded me of the one thing I really loved about this game, and that was the moon. The you know, the sun level in Super Mario Brothers 3 where the sun attacks you.
Are
this
you
one does
fucking
the
kidding me?
This one does the same thing with the moon, and I love it. I love it not because of the actual level. I love it because of the fact that they took that mechanic from Super Mario Brothers 3 and incorporated it into this game. It was just fun. I found it very fun.
It was a nice nod, I'll grant you that, and it did make me chuckle when I saw it, but I fucking hated that sun in Super Mario. I fucking hate that moon.
Yeah, the moon. And I like that it's the moon in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is cool, but that fucker always just happens to be exactly where I'm jumping at any given moment, and I know that's a me problem because I need to get better at this, but...
And that level was way harder than the one in Super Mario Brothers 3, because you're
on ice.
You're on ice, and there's like huge stretches of water, and then they also put little platforms like just below the surface of the water to fuck with you. Like, aim for this, and it's like, oh, it's not going to make any difference. You're still slow.
No, because if that thing lunges at you while you're in the water, it's just like so difficult to get out of its way. And,
yeah.
Again, it's a familiar mechanic, like, and I think part of me, as soon as I was in that level and saw that moon just following the screen, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
And it does the same little twist in the sky as it warns you it's about to fuck your day up.
But even before it did that, even before it started doing that, I saw that fucking thing, I was just like, don't you dare.
Yeah, don't you dare.
And it dared.
Well, and also, once you're getting towards the end of the level, it gives you like, they'll throw some enemies in there, and they make a couple of extra long stretches of water to get across. And I think I played the level 2 or 3 times to get through it, and I don't think I ever finished it with both hearts, like the full health. So like,
oh fuck no!
I'm like at the end of it with Santa and his skivvies. Like, you can see the end sign or whatever, the end little flag. You're just like fuck.
It's literally just diving into the end zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's how the
nice
game
football
should be.
reference, bud.
There you go. There you go. I know what a down is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We established this on go listen to Buster Bust Loose again if you haven't.
There you go.
Yeah, you can hear Alan sing, which you can get a copy of that song off of our Patreon for free.
For free?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Just broke something.
Because for some, like, who would want that? Like, fuck.
Oh god, so many people. That was such a good song.
Well, go listen to the episode anyway, because it'll make us feel good.
Yeah, wait till I make the remix version and just put the oot 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 on it.
I could fuck with that.
God, let's get back into the game, I guess. That's what we're talking about. 2 main bosses in this game. Yeah. 2 main bosses in this game. You have the South Pole Troll, which is what I call the thing in my pants. And you have this penguin that, I don't know, he just does World 2. He's like, oh no, the boss was killed. And then you fight him as a boss. And then, of course, the South Pole Troll comes back for the final boss. If you only played the first 2 worlds.
But I did.
That's all I played.
You didn't play the Halloween one?
Oh, I ran out of time.
Oh my god, the Halloween one is the best. And it's not just because I like Halloween. It's just it was the most. Yeah. I thought the Halloween world had the most imaginative mechanics of all of the whole game.
All right. I need to steal the floor here for a second to answer a question. Guy who does things. Answer to your question in the intro. This game has a Halloween section, making it a Halloween Christmas game. Play this game.
It's the Nightmare Before Christmas of games. Because it's both.
I have no context for that comment, but
Nope. He'll know what I'm talking about, and you guys, maybe you'll listen to the intro and figure it out, but...
know I'm going to listen to us.
Oh, you always do. Your quality control.
Yeah. Not doing my fucking job, am I? No, I'm with Sam here. Like, I would argue that the third world, because that's all it is. It's like 3 worlds. I think what was it? Something like 18 levels. I think.
Yeah.
In total, some of which you can skip. So nice and short. Doesn't overstay its welcome. But I liked that Halloween world quite a lot. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Was it all released at the same time, or?
I kind of doubt it, because it kind of feels like the third Halloween section was like maybe an expansion.
It feels like DLC, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the big bad in the Halloween level is a witch, and it's like a nod to Kiki's Delivery, because I think they call her something. It's like something like Kiki, but it's
yes,
like
I noticed that.
or whatever.
She steals all of the presents, doesn't she? And
Yes.
yes, I noticed that. But yeah, I don't know if it was just the fact that I had such a rough time of that second fucking troll. But I don't know, just all of the mechanics in the game just sort of seem to gel really well in the third world. I don't know why. Like, did you find that, Sam?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I also, you play a couple of worlds, and then you kind of get the feel for,
Sure.
everything in the game. And there's no ice or anything to slide on like there is in the first two worlds. So the platforming is a little bit tighter because you don't have to worry about the slide. But then they add some things like that pumpkin level is fucking cool, because you can jump up and swim up into the goop of the pumpkin. That's like, you know how when you open a pumpkin you got all that goop and seeds and stuff. You can swim through that stuff, which is cool.
It's another nod. It's another nod to Mario, because that is, again, the mechanic from, what's it, 6 golden coins, I think?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, absolutely. Where you can swim up into that like jelly stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then I also really loved the upside down, like the trick house or whatever, where like right at the end it flipped everything upside down, and so you're platforming upside down. And I don't
think I saw that level.
Yeah,
I think that must have been one of the ones I took a different branch.
Although there is one asshole part of the trick house where there's a pit that'll kill you, and it has an arrow pointing down into it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it made me laugh, because I was like, oh, check that out. I was like, oh, nope, it's a trick house. I died.
I hope the developers are listening to this and are laughing at you, Sam.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we got him.
Yes, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm looking over the itch.io page here, which just seems to be where they put most of their updates through, and it looks like the third chapter, or the third world, was added in 2024 around October sometime, so right around Halloween, obviously.
That's perfect, because that's when they released it to the Switch.
But it also, by this, looks like they're actually still actively working on the game, adding stuff to it. So I wonder if they're going to continue to do that.
Well, that's excellent.
If they keep adding to it, I'm definitely going to keep playing it.
Oh yeah, throw in worlds for all the holidays. It's hopefully, if this game actually makes some waves on the consoles it's on, for how much it costs. If you could get more content for free,
well, of course, obviously, because everyone, all the thousands of people who listen to Retrotopia are now going to go and play this game because it's fucking awesome.
Billions, like 72 billion listeners every day.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
There's definitely at least 6.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. And we thank all 6 of you for writing comments in.
Yeah, except for you. You know who you are.
Yeah, he does. Anyways,
and your basement stinks too.
All right, if you know, you know. If you don't, well, you need to start listening to the backlog. I want to talk about now probably the greatest part of this game, and that is the music.
Oh,
my God, they did not have to go this hard with a soundtrack on a 16-bit game. It fucks.
It's so good. Like,
it is very good.
Even when I was because the music is incredible, and even when I was stuck on the second world, because I had a few hours where I was just brain fucked and couldn't get past the castle on World 2. Fortunately, I was locked in a loop that ended with an extra life, so it's just I pretty much just do it indefinitely until I won. But the music was just... It never got old. It never got boring. And I'm just trying to think, because it was it was a twist on some sort of... I can't think what Christmas song it was. But it kind of had... It was a well-known Christmas song, and I wish I could remember what it was. But it kind of sounded like that, mixed with some fucking Harry Potter and just all of that. It was so good.
It's whimsical.
Yeah, and every time we do one of these episodes, I always look for a couple of songs to, start the show and do the transition into the talk, because those are the two different tracks we have. I started listening to this soundtrack and realized about 7 songs in that I forgot to actually pick one. It was just...
I've just remembered what it was. It was Silent Night. It was Silent Night, but it was just so epic, because you could... It's not necessarily obvious, but it's definitely Silent Night, but it's so like grand and orchestral, and it was just like, fuck, like I like this a lot.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and thank Victor Herrera Calvo for this album, because I believe he was the one who made it. Yes, he was. And additional music by Adrian Sola. So those two are now on my list of best video game composers for 16-bit retro games ever, even though this is not technically a retro game.
Absolutely
retro style.
Fucking killed it. Yeah, it's retro adjacent.
Well, yeah, retro. That's what I was going to say, retro adjacent. It's a little indie game, and indie games are better than most big games nowadays.
I agree with that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so there's only, from what I'm looking here, 12 tracks. Of those 12 tracks, most of them are around 30 seconds to a minute long max, maybe a minute 5. So it's obviously done well enough to repeat, but not sound repetitive.
No.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, absolutely it makes sense. Like, I never felt like this was... And again, like I said, like I heard some of these tracks on loop for quite some time, and it never got boring, never got old.
No, they did not. It's, God, I don't even know how to describe it, like how good the music is. It's going to be something that just completely shocks you. Obviously, if you listen to the episode right now, you've heard a couple of them, but, expect that going into it. And, no, it's like, I don't even have the words of how I felt when that music started when I was playing the game. Like, it just hit me so hard.
A retro-style Mario clone with a Santa skin did not need to fuck this hard with the music.
No. Like,
it sounds like a horror movie. It's got Santa's skin. Sorry. We've been watching Christmas horror movies here, so I've got Santa and whimsy, but horrifying on the brain.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I derailed the whole thing. I'm sorry.
No. Actually, outside of the music, there's nothing left to talk about. How does the game control for you guys? Do you have any complaints about the controls?
Not even slightly.
I found some stuff a little bit slidey at times, but overall, no complaints.
Yeah, I was finding being used to... I kind of had Mario on the brain, and I don't think it controls exactly like Mario, because there were times in a Mario game where I would have stuck a landing and I was just overshooting by a little bit or sliding off of a corner a little bit, which is fine. It's not that's a me problem, not the game's problem. And then there was one jump that I couldn't figure out that irritated me in the pumpkin a little bit, where you're supposed to float up and then cover a gap and then start swimming up the pumpkin guts again, and I just couldn't make it. So I don't know if it was just kind of a poor design or if I just couldn't figure out what they were trying to do there. But
I know exactly what you mean, and you needed to be pressing the run button.
Really? Oh, I'm gonna try it again now, because I don't make a point to hold the run button while I'm swimming.
No, neither did I. This is how I know exactly where you are, because I had the exact same problem, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And then I just thought, well, Mario 101, like, you're always holding run.
Oh,
yep.
And
it just made...
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
Such a simple solution.
I made the same fucking mistake, buddy. It's okay. I'm right there with you.
It's that one jump that's right after the one where the gap right before it has a spider that you can use to jump off of,
Bounce off of, yeah. 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Well, I'm going to try it again, because I really did enjoy that pumpkin level. And I think because of the way that the levels were placed, there was a level in the Halloween world that I didn't get to play because you could only access it by beating the pumpkin level, and I went around the other way. So,
I'm
I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah.
I might play the
Yeah, I
whole
think
fucking
we're all
game
gonna
again on
play it
Christmas.
again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, honestly, control-wise, like I found this to be pretty fucking perfect. Like,
Very
not gonna
good.
lie. I mean, and I have
do-
played some slidey platformers, like fucking Alex Kidd. I'm looking at you. You.
Oh god,
Oh, don't.
that game.
Let's not go back there.
Fucking sucks. Ugh. Thank
No,
God
see,
for
I have
you know,
one issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I have one issue with the controls there is I found it hard to land my jumps on top of enemies. I kept landing in front of them, then getting my shirt knocked off. And yeah, that's out of everything about this game, that's the only thing that annoyed me was that it felt like I couldn't find the right arc to hit the enemies. But also
Brian.
the controls also feel new Super Mario Brothers versus 8 and
Okay.
16-bit Super Mario Brothers to me.
I think
They
Brian
have the
just
same
wanted to
problem
see
in the
Santa
new
with his
Super
shirt
Mario
off.
Brothers.
Santa with his shirt off.
I
Just
really
wanted
want
to
to
see some
argue with
Santa
you, Brian.
nips.
I really want to argue with you, Brian, but like that is a really fucking good point. Like I found the same thing. It's just like there's nothing wrong with the collision detection. I just wasn't like getting exactly. Yeah, there were a couple of times where I was just like, oh, I thought I was definitely going to land where I thought I was going to land, and I
No,
didn't.
it's just a practice thing. I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
get good, so to speak, and it's just I don't know. Every time I thought I was going to land and anticipate where the enemy was going to be, the little penguin there, I land in front of them, and they would knock me into one heart territory.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's where I think like everything in this game tells your brain this is Super Mario Brothers, but I mean it's not. It can't be like 100%. So your brain is like your programming is telling you to expect one thing, and it's just very very slightly different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a reasonable
Absolutely.
take, but like I don't think I can hold that against it.
No, I'm not
at
holding
all.
it against it. Like,
No.
it's the only thing I found about the controls that I can actually like make a negative out of was just simply that, and it's all it comes down to is playing it more and figuring out, how the physics work in the jump.
Yeah, and
You know.
that we're having to work this hard to find something wrong with this game, it just speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's just like your brain just kind of says like, this is Mario. Why not good at? Get better.
Yeah, but if you remember the Super Mario Brothers 3 episode, I am not good at Mario, so
No, that one-
this is
no,
part
that
of the
is a-
course.
That is a tough game.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else to talk about on this game. Do you guys want to do our traditional Christmas sum up?
Yes. Is
Shit,
that
we can
a new,
do.
Is that a new tradition?
No,
Yeah.
it's just a way to say we're going to sum up. Sam, you already did, so Alan, you can go first.
The traditional Christmas sum up is basically the sum up as normal, except all we're wearing is one single stocking, and I'm not going to tell you where it is. So
Mine's
It's
on
on
my
my
foot.
hand.
with my stocking firmly on. Oh no, it just fell off. I'm going to tell you what I think of this game. This is it, guys. It's fucking Christmas, and if you want to play a game that is fucking Christmas, I can't think of many that are better than this. I mean, yes, it's got more than just DNA of Super Mario in it. Like, it is very nearly a 1-for-1, but it's where the differences are is where the charm lies. Like you said, like they could have had coins, instead they have cookies. They do have milk, I swear to you. The power-ups are all perfectly themed. They all work for Santa. Everything makes sense. Everything that they changed fits perfectly with the theme of Christmas, and I absolutely love it for that. I find the platforming nice and tight. It's a very capable platformer. I apologise for everything that I said about the game when I was drunk the other night and trying to beat World 2. That was a me problem, not a you problem, guys. If you're listening, I hope you are. It's just so fucking charming, and the music, fuck me, I could listen to that music regardless of whether I'm playing the game. Like, I can see this firmly becoming a Christmas staple every season, and I genuinely hope it's true that they're going to add more levels to this, because I will continue to play it. Like, this is every bit as good as some of the best platformers I've ever played, and quite a lot better than than a lot of platformers I've played, if that makes sense. You know, I have played far worse games than this, and yeah, I can see this hitting the rotation every year. So I'm into it. Like,
what are you going to score it?
Santa's got a brand new bag, and I am into it.
Sack.
Sack.
Score
it. It can't be less than an 8. It's got to be, I don't know, 8.5. I think. Like, it's pretty up there.
Yeah, 8.5 is a great score for a game.
That's like 3 worlds long. I mean, I think that's the only downside to it, is that it is very, very short. But score,
like, yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, if they add more, that score will go up. So, good job, guys.
Yeah, excellent. Sam, I'm going to go next, and you can have the final word on the game.
That's fine. You're really punishing me for having my dessert first, aren't you?
I told you not to eat before dinner. Anyways,
how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
That's true.
Ew, gross. So yeah, Alan, you said it pretty well. This game is charming as fuck, and I love the graphics in this game. The 16-bit meets 8-bit style, the Super Mario Brothers 3 meets Super Mario World feeling of this game is done just so well. I know I said a little bit about the controls, but honestly, it's like such a minor gripe about it. Everything else is just, it works perfectly. The levels are short, but fun. So they're not overly challenging, or sometimes they are, depending on, you know, if you get stuck on the pumpkin or not. But, yeah, the levels are fun. There's enough of them to satisfy you. I always found myself wanting to go back to this game, which, you know, is quite rare nowadays when we're, like, playing so many games. I was playing Xenogears at the same time I was playing this. When I got frustrated with Xenogears, this would be the game I pick up and I would play, just kind of calm myself down. That music, I've listened to it so much, and I still love it. I mean, it is just, it's the highlight of the game itself completely. And, yeah, if they are going to build more stuff for this game, which I really, really hope they are, like, I have no conclusive evidence that they are, but if they are going to build anything for this game, I'd be willing to pay, like, $1 for DLC for this game for, like, a whole new world. Support somebody who actually seems to have some passion when they're building a game like this, right? Yeah. Overall, I'm going to give this game a straight up 9 out of 10 because it is that good. It is, for how short it is, like Alan said, that is the one point that gets taken off. But everything else about this game just does what it wants to do so well. So a 9 out of 10 from me.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Is it my turn now?
No, you don't get a turn, Sam.
Can I come out of the corner?
Go on. Come out of the corner.
That's the end of the show. We'll see you next time. Go ahead, Sam.
No, two things, though. I will reiterate that, like, if you got, like, you know how you get that gift card and you always got, like, a couple of bucks left on it, you don't know what the fuck to do with it? This is what you spend it on. Get your game, that whatever, but get this. You know, like, spend that extra couple bucks and put it towards this game because it's amazing. And it's perfect. This is, like you said, I love that thought, Alan. This is like a new holiday tradition for me to play this game. Lots of fun. I guess I've summed my thoughts up already because, like I said, I had my dessert first, and I will be punished. But I did think of this is the other thing I thought of while I was waiting to have my say. The power up with the flying. All you got to do is give Santa antlers and a red nose and make him fly. And that's all you need to do. You don't need to give him a tail or a cape. It's antlers.
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah.
There you
Jazz
go.
hands.
Yeah.
And I'm giving this
maybe
a 9.
in the maybe the DLC.
Maybe in the DLC. But I'm giving this a 9.
So that's, yeah,
A
2
9.
9s and an
Nice.
8.5 tells you that this game is definitely should be on your short list of games to purchase. So that's it. That is our Christmas episode, and I think that's our last full episode because we have decided that next week we're going to do a game from the backlog. So it's already recorded. We're taking the week off, spending it with our family because our normal recording day is on Thursdays, or Yeah, Thursdays, which is, the day after Christmas. So we're going to be recovering. At least I will be. Sam, Alan, I love talking to you guys. It's been a great 2024. I look forward to talking to you again on our episode where we're going to do a 5x5x5 where we talk about some of the...
5x5.
So if you're keeping count at home, that's 125.
That is true. 5 cubed. But then we're going to be talking about some of our highlights from the podcast 2024 and 2023 this year because we didn't do one last year because we just started. Overall, you guys have yourself a Merry Christmas. Everybody have yourself a Merry Christmas. And Sam, Alan, I will meet you guys under the mistletoe.
Oh yeah.